quick little intro before the actual intro. I haven't touched my game in over a month and 11 days. All right. So the gameplay is going to be ass. There's going to be no fancy editing. The audio, I'm not even going to touch up the audio that much. All right. Just want to drop a little quick update video, let y'all know what's going on. All 7 of you. But yeah, man, take it easy. Guys, ever since this last video, which was over like 5 months ago, wow, life has thrown every single curveball imaginable at me. I'm telling you, the Fire Nation deadass attacked and wrecked my shit. Pause.
Hey, yo!
I mean, this shit was way worse than the Avatar series, bro. I'm talking about they came in 10 toes down, burned everything. But it's okay though. It's okay though. I'm gonna just give y'all a little rundown, a little mini update video. Not anything too crazy. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. But I'm telling you, this shit was crazy. All right, let me bring it back a little bit. Bring it back a little over a year ago, right? So when I started this channel, I had just moved into my first apartment. I was talking to this amazing girl. You know, life was looking up for your boy. This is the first ever apartment I got for myself. So eventually, I continued dating this girl and everything was going good or whatever. And I finally started opening up to this woman about my future goals and whatnot. You know, all the things you do when you become comfortable with someone, normal relationship type shit, you know? We got engaged about a month and a half after I posted the very last video. You know, I took her on a nice little trip. I paid for everything and I proposed on Valentine's Day, man. I'm talking about we in the mountains, romantic as fuck, dude. I'd never done anything like this before. You know, she accepted, obviously. And, you know, she's telling everyone about how this is the happiest and healthiest relationship she's ever been in. Then 2 months go by. All right, we at around month 10, 11 of our relationship. You know, she starts acting a little weird. She's making all these excuses as to why we can't see each other. And then she's sending me the random texts at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. telling me how she never wants to leave me and that she knows she's fucking up. And she's begging me to stay with her, you know, so we can work it out, so we can fix the relationship. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, she has some mental issues, you know what I'm saying? But I'm 10 toes down. I'm 10 toes down. I'm a true lover boy. It is what it is. You just don't leave someone you truly love no matter what, unless they cheat or something like that. Or, you know, they explicitly state that they don't want to be in the relationship. But, you know, at this point, she's doing all these things for me, getting tattoos of me on her body in different languages, my name and all that good stuff, right? And I literally had just met her mom. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I finally did it after all these years of, you know, trash relationships and all this other stuff. I finally found the girl for me. Well, little did I fucking know. One day after work on a Thursday, everything would collapse. So I'm at the end of my work day and I get a call from my homie who I've known for at least 6 years. He just told me I need to get over to his place, you know, quickly. He can't say anything over the phone. And in my mind, I'm looking at all the red flags that I've been experiencing at this point, and I already know who it's about. You know what I'm saying? I was just curious as to how he could have came across whatever he came across on a weekday. So I get to his house and someone is on the phone. There's 3 of us in the room. There's someone on the phone, but it's on speakerphone. And who do I hear on speakerphone? On the other side of the line, I hear my fiance and this dude we've had multiple conversations about in the same house. Like, he's yelling at her. He's like, pack all my shit up, you know, etc. And I'm like, oh my God, like, this can't be happening. Spoiler, it definitely was happening. But, you know, towards the end of the conversation, they have no idea. My fiance and this guy, they have no idea that I'm listening to them talking. I'm listening to my fiance talk to this guy. She was like, please don't say anything. He's going to kill me, this, and that. You know, she's trying to play victim, all the typical horror activities. Anyway, I just want to point out something really quick. Now, I mentioned that she had no idea that I was understanding that she was cheating on me at this point. While I'm listening to them on the phone, she's sending me text in real time as I'm figuring this out. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see your mom this weekend. Can't wait to add another cat to our family." And in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? How long have you been acting like you haven't been cheating on me, you know? Moving on. Anyway, I get in contact with her, and that's where I fucked up. I shouldn't even let her know that I knew she was cheating on me. She ends up begging me to not report her or tell anyone about her adulterous activities. And I didn't at first because I'm a dumbass. Like, let's just keep it real. Before these events happened, I was a dumbass because my brain and my heart doesn't even work like that. That wasn't an original thought that even came to my mind at the time. I'm not a vengeful guy. Yeah, you cheated on me, but my first instinct wasn't even to enact revenge on you, but I should have, because the next day I get a call from my boss asking me questions about the subject, completely out of nowhere. So what happened was her and the dude she was cheating on me with teamed up against me, and this bitch basically accused me of terrorism, bruh, like stalking, domestic violence, all that shit. It was insane. In attempts to save her career, at least get the jump start on, she wanted to play the victim so she wouldn't receive that much, action against her, How the fuck, I have a question. How the fuck do you stalk your fiance? Like, I'm sitting in there, they're reading me this report. It had like stalking, child endangerment. I'm like, what the fuck? How do you even come up with this? Like, how evil do you have to be to not only ruin, cheating on someone? It affects their mental state forever, bro. That's like one of the worst feelings you can ever have, especially if you love someone. So not only did you like ruin that part of me at the time, you are trying to ruin my career with the guy you were cheating on me with. Insane work. And yeah, I had to go to court about it. Shit cost me thousands of dollars, in which I was flabbergasted as to how it even made it to court, because I have video footage of everything. Like, I'm literally showing them the video footage and they're like, "Oh, well, we still have to do the investigation. This, and that." I'm like, bro, it's right here. I'm doing your job for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she said I did this, and that. I have footage to the contrary. She is not the victim here. You know what I'm saying? Went to court, was found not guilty, of course. The lawyer and the court fees cost me thousands of dollars. One of the worst parts about this is that I turned in my 60-day notice for my lease in because me and her were about to move into a house together literal days before I found out she was cheating. So I'm out of a place to live unless the lease people come through for me. They said they're gonna try to fix my lease, that whole situation. And furthermore, I found out that the house that we were supposed to move into was directly next to his house. I've seen all the messages between them. He showed me. She's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to move over there next to you so you can protect me from the stalkers, this and that." Bro, I'm telling you, this bitch is evil. And ever since this came out, I found out a lot more things about her too. So she wasn't just cheating on me for a couple months like she said. This person was cheating on me for at least 6 to 7 months. We were only together for 11 months. But after being slandered continuously for over a month and fighting for my damn life and my career, I learned a lot. I thought I knew heartbreak before this, but this was the thing I needed to push me forward in my life and towards my goals. I've had time to contemplate the entirety of my life and the entire relationship. I wasn't abusive or a bad partner, but I was changing who I was for her. I was going against myself and leaving my goals on the back burner. That'll never, ever happen again. I swear to God. I've been heavy in the books. I've read like 5 books this month. Read 5 books, guys. 5 books this month. It's just so crazy to me, dude. Like, you never know. Like, you really never know someone, but you can know yourself. And this is what, that's what this experience brought to me. Like, I'm coming back to who I am, getting back into the things I love, like creativity, making videos, trying to learn, basically cinematography in a YouTube format. You know what I mean? Like, when we got together, I told her, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't care if I get big or whatever, if I have like 1 million subscribers, like it's fun for me. It itches the creative, you know, itches in my, well, it scratches the creative itches in my brain. She was like, yeah, whatever. But when it was time for me to like sit down and try to make videos, she literally always had an issue with it. And that's when I should have left right there, when she wasn't supporting the goals, you know. That should have been the #1 red flag. But after having this tremendous weight lifted off of my shoulders, I'm back in action, dog. I'm back in motherfucking action. And here's what it means for the channel. I'm a creative dude at heart. You know, I no longer have the weight of wanting to appease a bitch and figuring out how to balance YouTube and her, you know. Like I said, the videos were always an issue, but now I'm free. You know, my brain chemistry has changed for the better. You know, life is looking up for me, and I'm so glad I went through this shit, dude. Like, at first, the first 2 weeks was bad, dude. I lost all hope, you know what I'm saying? I had to lock in. But one thing this has taught me, you know, you can't be afraid to go get up in what you want, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of things I've learned that would require a much longer video to speak on, as far as what I've learned and why this experience was so necessary for me. But overall, I've turned this into a positive situation, you know? It's kind of crazy because when this all went down, I deleted everything from my computer, like all the footage from the video I was working on. I deleted Adobe Premiere entirely. My entire computer got wiped. Like, I seriously didn't even want to think about YouTube anymore. And as far as the game I'm working on next, I have no idea. I had this long ass in-depth video, eloquently edited video on Metro Exodus, kind of to redo the video I made. It was like one of the first ones on my channel. You know, seeing as how I've learned so much since then, you know, I've learned how to write, how to script better. But like I said, I deleted all of that footage, so I'm probably going to start with something new. I'm thinking about Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And you can go ahead and hate right now, but Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dope ass game, bro. It's probably my second favorite one. It's right there with Assassin's Creed Odyssey as my favorite, you know what I'm saying? But the only thing is, I just have to replay this game entirely again. So like I said, I don't know, but now I know. You know, I've always wanted to write and make YouTube videos and this and that, but I felt like I didn't have the knowledge or the, you know, the expertise, I guess, to actually write something worth watching and worth listening to. But this whole situation, man, I'm telling you, this shit opened my eyes, bro, and I'm so grateful. But yeah, I'm just ranting, but I said all of that. I explained that little story just to say, look, man, life is what we make it at the end of the day, man. All the suffering we endure, that shit's mainly in our brains anyway. You know, it's okay to be down and out for a little bit. Take the time you need to heal, but use it with intention, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have still been down. I could have let this shit ruin my life, bro. Because, like, you're getting cheated on. That shit is nothing. That's nothing slight. It's nothing. It's definitely something to write home about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, take all the time you need, heal with intent. But life isn't going to wait on us to get our shit together. You know what I'm saying? The sun is still going to rise and fall. You're still going to age, as everyone does. And I'm not the same person I was a month ago. And I'm not trying to be like cringe about it, but I've changed the brain. Yeah. I've changed the way my brain chemistry works, bro. Like, all that unhealthy shit I was doing, I still smoke. Like, I still drink every now and then, but I have more discipline, bro. I just had to lock the fuck in. You know, sometimes it takes a traumatic event for someone to get their shit together, and that's okay. You know, all that shit they say about the lotus growing from the mud and the rose growing from the concrete, all that shit is real, bro. I'm telling you. Understand what it means to truly love yourself and build some discipline, bro. Like, really get on that shit. Don't fucking lie to yourself, bro. Like, don't be one of those people who looks in the mirror and flinches because you don't even know who you are. Don't be one of those people who are talking about, oh yeah, I do this. I have so much integrity, so much character. But at the end of the day, when nobody's looking, you're still doing the same fucked up shit like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself, bruh. Start reading, like, do something. That's what I had to do. And now I feel better than ever, you know? Like, I just started taking action, bro. But yeah, man, a little small update video. You know, I wrote down a script in like 20 minutes, but I'm just looking at it. I'm not following it at all. So it's all over the place. You know, ideas weren't fully expanded upon, but you know, that wasn't the purpose of this video anyway. I just wanted to let y'all know, all 7 of you. Oh, y'all probably aren't even gonna see this. But I just wanted to let y'all know what's going on. You know, the Fire Nation attacked, but I stayed dripping type shit. You know, not letting that shit get me down too bad. Now I'm better than ever. We back into exercising. You know, my priorities are in check. You know, hopefully I have a place to live in 6 days. But I guess we'll figure it out as it comes, man. I'm not worried about nothing, bruh. I'm just do the best I can do, be the best I can be. I'm not gonna let outside, you know, factors change the way I live my life, bro. I'm still out here living with a heart full of love, baby. And that's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? But maybe in a month, hopefully less than a month, you guys will be hearing from me again with better videos, better writing, better editing. One of the things I really need to work on is my thumbnails. And you know, it's crazy. I had a whole library of dope ass thumbnails because I spent time in the lab working on thumbnails, but now they're all gone. So, you know, not starting from scratch exactly, but I'm back in there. But I love you all. You guys are amazing, and I hope you're doing amazing. I'll see y'all soon. I hope. Never lose hope.